it seems to me that the next thing, and then I'll open it up to you, was at least in the 1980s, there was an alternative economic idea waiting. There was a very clear choice that Keynesianism, build jobs, had sort of failed, and it wasn't working. And there was this alternative idea, which was, richness will trickle down, let's have the brute force of the market. And it was a very brutal, survival of the fittest, Darwinian sort of idea. And actually, it sort of, and people didn't like it. It was very clear, you could see it coming like a great big bus on the back of lots of economists. The thing about this whole thing is that, and somewhere in the middle of that, 300 economists signed a letter saying, Mrs. Thatcher, you're wrong, and they immediately made economists out of work, out of thing. Suddenly, the government is going back to some of those economists who actually signed that letter. So there's no sense at the moment, I think, of an alternative political, moral, ideological, economic alternative. Is that right? Or is there one?
Well, I would say, I think personally, I think there is. I think there is Britain's not in such a bad shape that some very basic Keynesian measures wouldn't put the jobs market right. But I'll just tell you about China. China's really interesting. China has to have full employment. They have to have social harmony. There's a great beauty of having an autocratic communist party in charge that has a massive secret police, is that they know more than any Labour politician could know about what people are thinking, and they know how far they are from being blown off the top of the cap on the top of the volcano. And whenever it goes up, they do things. Now, they are having a massive crisis. 250 million migrants are in an economy in crisis. Now, if you look at it, it exports down 22%. Domestic investment up 30% in a year. So I've met migrants on the train coming from Guangdong, from export factories, to go to build tunnels in Mongolia, because it's been the Chinese have switched the points on the economy as quickly as that. Then you go to the private sector. I went to a cashmere factory, totally private. The boss says, one, I'm really proud to be in a high employment industry. I know it's low skill, but we employ people. And then the government's saying to them, there's believe it or not, a slogan in China now called the 3 no's. No layoffs, no short-time working, and no late payment of wages. That's the government slogan in the recession. Now, in other words, there is, an alternative if your survival depends on it. Now, it stunned me to see the 3 no's, sort of pronounced by this kind of boss of a multi-million-dollar firm, but just shows you that there's more than one kind of capitalism in the world now.
Well, of course, the Chinese got quite a long way to go on health, education,
yeah, exactly.
Welfare state. So they've got some territory to grow up. Is there anything else? Any final round-up before I open things up to the audience? You'd like to?